How can I boost my semen volume is among the most often asked queries I receive from patients. I'll be teaching you everything there is to know about sperm today. How precisely does your body produce food? What transpires during ejaculation? Why would you have less sperm volume then? Lastly, does it bother your partner? How can you boost the volume of your sperm? Let's start now. Semen is composed of a variety of distinct parts. Of course, everyone is aware that sperm is produced in the testicles. So, what proportion of sperm do you think really fertilizes an egg? Is composed of sperm? Pause now and leave a remark below. Moreover, if you'll allow me, what is your best guess, exactly? It's actually 5%. Consequently, sperm makes up only 5% of your total semen. Many people may genuinely be aware if their semen volume is lower than someone else, I believe. They are not as fertile as others if their sperm isn't functioning as well. Well, that is utterly wrong. The other elements that make up your sperm include your prostate, prostatic secretions, which nourish and transport sperm. These make up roughly 20% to 30% of the total volume of your sperm, and the majority, which is between 60% and 70%, comes from the seminal capillaries. These two tiny sac-like structures are behind and, finally, directly in front of you. They contain the semen. Ejaculation. The microscopic glands known as the bulbourethral glands, which are located near to the urethra or the P-tube, produce a very small amount. You might also be curious about how? Some people ejaculate more strongly than others. There might be more of a trickle than usual. That's because you have a muscle group called the bulbocavernosus that surrounds your urethra. And when you ejaculate, this form takes the form of a repetitive contraction that forces the semen forward. These muscles can be stronger in some people than they are in others. Or in others, and this is what distinguishes the force of the volume of semen emerging. You could be wondering what is typical of how your body functions now. Why do I intend to damage our relationship? Unless the power of my. If the ejaculate is insufficient or poor in volume, they completed a study in 2018. They interviewed 240 ladies and conducted a study on them, discussing their feelings regarding their partner's ejaculate, how that affected their sexual enjoyment, and what they discovered was that most ladies didn't care how much volume there was. Only 17% of the ladies ejaculated with force. They claimed that if their partner's orgasm was equally audibly strong and even more intense than their own, 13% of the smaller group thought they might be less attractive, which is why their spouse wasn't having a robust relationship. Thus, they did in fact struggle with low self-esteem because of the volume of their partner's ejaculate. Overall, I would advise against using the huge font if you're concerned about this. Most people are content, especially when both sides are. Finally, considering that there is nothing to be concerned about, why has the sperm volume decreased? The men with the strongest and most copious ejaculates are those in there, and then it continues to diminish through time, and there are a number of things at play here if you look at males over there across the entire age range. Some people have weaknesses in both their muscles and diet, for example. Smoking and certain medical conditions or other lifestyle influences can also have an impact. It's interesting to note that several factors can cause your serum volume to change from day to day. Your level of hydration and possibly how much. What type of stress are you going through, and what prescription drugs are you taking? What then? If you suddenly detect a decrease in your serum volume, will they still be there? How do you behave? What are a few of the reasons behind this? You may have a blockage in the tube that delivers sperm to the urethra during ejaculation, which is called the. Additionally, you can have low testosterone. Some medications, the most popular of which is Tasin or Flo, which we frequently administer to patients who have an enlarged prostate and may experience problems emptying their bladders and have urine incontinence, are other things that can cause us. Additionally, this results in retrograde ejaculation. And that is when you ejaculate rather of urinating. As this is one of the negative effects of the drug, it may also cause you to urinate later when it moves backwards into your bladder. Certain spinal or neurological conditions. Spinal cord damage. Therefore, if you notice a significant shift, make sure to visit a urologist to rule out anything serious. You have 4 options for increasing your semen volume if you are currently experiencing one of these conditions. I'll give you the first 3 options, which could be somewhat helpful, and the 4th, which has been demonstrated to enhance sperm count volume. So first and foremost, make sure you stay until the finish. Stop smoking. It's a terrible habit to smoke. It not only causes lung issues, but it also has a connection to lung cancer. It has a link to erectile dysfunction and can lead to bladder cancer. So give up if you want to maintain your powerful erections. Avoid smoking since, in principle, it damages your nerves and lowers the creation of the fluids that make semen volume. Another reason to stop bad habit number 2 is to hydrate as you would any other substance. In order to ensure that you're producing a lot, our body forces you to need a lot of fluids and liquids. So be sure to drink enough water. I know. Examining your pee is a good approach to make sure. If your urine is a pale lemon yellow color, you're all right. 3. Carry out the Kegel exercises. So I've already mentioned in my video that I've done Kegel exercises. Check it out, and as I've already indicated, I don't believe Kegel exercises are appropriate for everyone. However, if you don't have urine symptoms, I had erectile dysfunction and relatively young onset pelvic pain. These workouts might actually be very beneficial for some people. They truly work to strengthen the pelvic floor. The force of the ejaculation is increased by muscles, particularly the bubble cassus muscle, so you are actually expelling your semen volume to a greater extent. So, even if you're not producing more, you are simply receiving more of it. As a result, everything is finished before I move on to number 2. I will add that there are no supplements that have been FDA approved to increase sperm volume. So many supplements will promise to raise your serum volume. You'll see that I wholeheartedly concur. However, we don't currently have any reliable data. There is a vitamin that will accomplish this for you. The 4th method, which is the most effective, is to ejaculate less frequently. The rationale is that you'll have more ejaculates if you wait longer between them. It's time to refuel the vehicle. They did research on this. It required 27 men. They routinely collected samples of their sperm from them. How long have they been there, they ask. Collected all the data and examined the differences in semen volume when waiting or abstaining from sexual activity before ejaculation. They discovered that someone continued to abstain or wait to ejaculate for each day. They produced 10% more semen overall. In fact, it was 12% on each of those days if you look at the people who waited for 4 on each of those days. And after 4 days, it decreased to roughly 7 to 8%. So, yes. Definitely. When you ejaculate, you will have larger semen volume if you wait a couple of days. I guess that's all. I appreciate you being here today. Remember to take care of yourself, as is normal.